The call came late at night from a number I didn't recognize. The voice on the other end was calm but urgent, saying they needed my services immediately at a wealthy man's house across the city. The address alone told me this was no ordinary job. When I arrived, tall iron gates opened slowly, revealing a massive mansion glowing under soft yellow lights. Everything looked perfect, expensive, and carefully controlled. Yet something in the air felt wrong, like the house itself was holding its breath. A sharply dressed butler led me inside without much conversation. The halls were lined with rare paintings, crystal chandeliers, and furniture that probably cost more than my annual income. I tried not to stare, but it was overwhelming. I was taken to a large living room where the wealthy man sat alone. He looked calm, almost emotionless, as if he had been expecting me for a long time. Without greeting me, he simply pointed toward a hallway and said, "Please go and see." As I walked down the hallway, the silence grew heavier. My footsteps echoed, and I noticed family photographs on the walls. They looked happy at first glance, but the smiles felt forced, almost staged. One photo stopped me completely. In it, I saw myself, standing beside this man, smiling like we were close friends. My heart began to race because I had never met him before in my life. Confused and shaken, I continued walking until I reached a locked door at the end of the hall. It slowly opened on its own, revealing a room filled with documents, files, and more photographs. All of them were about me. There were records of my childhood, my education, my jobs, even moments I thought were private. Someone had been watching my entire life. I felt exposed, like my identity had been stolen piece by piece. Suddenly, the wealthy man appeared behind me. He told me calmly that he had been searching for me for years. His voice carried no anger, only regret. He explained that decades ago, a terrible mistake had been made. A child had been taken away from his family to protect the family's reputation and wealth. That child was me. I refused to believe him at first. It sounded insane, like a twisted story meant to scare me. But the evidence was overwhelming, and deep inside, something felt painfully familiar. He showed me one final document, a birth record with my name, dated years earlier than I had ever known. My hands shook as I held it. Everything I believed about my life suddenly felt fragile. The man admitted that fear and pride had guided his choices. He thought money could erase guilt, but it never did. No matter how rich he became, the emptiness followed him. I felt anger rise inside me, mixed with sadness and confusion. I had lived a hard life while he lived in luxury, all because of a decision made behind closed doors. He asked for forgiveness, but I wasn't ready to give it. Some wounds are too deep to heal in a single night. Still, I could see the regret in his eyes. As dawn approached, the mansion no longer looked beautiful to me. It felt cold and heavy, like a prison built from secrets. Wealth had not brought this man peace. I left the house just as the sun began to rise. The gates closed behind me, but my mind was louder than ever. I carried a truth that had changed everything. In the days that followed, I struggled to accept my new reality. I questioned my past, my identity, and every memory I held dear. Nothing felt solid anymore. Yet slowly I realized something important. My life, no matter how it began, was still mine. No amount of money or power could take away the strength I had built on my own. The wealthy man reached out again, offering support and inheritance. This time I made my decision carefully. I accepted help, but not ownership of my life. That night taught me a powerful lesson. Wealth can hide many things, but it cannot bury the truth forever. Secrets always find a way to surface. I answered a call expecting a job, but I walked away with a past I never knew and a future I would define myself.